At Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Finance, we are the future of crypto.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Live. Man, what a crazy couple days it's been. Conspiracy theories been thrown out from left field. I think I've heard it all, and I think I've Pdai'd, and I need to go relax in Hexago for a little bit. I don't think I can take any more of the speculation. I don't know if I could take just some of the nonsense that you hear in these spaces. There is some great stuff, and there's some real smart people. But man, I want to have hope for you, for people out there. But Twitter is not the space for it. Let's just leave it there. What up, John May? How you doing, my man? Davis, looking out for that dump. Yeah, bro, it's nothing good unless you're shorting or you're trading on leverage. Which I was just reading an article about Tether and how deep, pretty much the odds are stacked against you. I'll get into that a little bit. What's up, Camo Joe? Child, bro. I think he's onto something. We need to get you that first fishing show in Hexago. I'll plug the shit out of it. So, let's go. Mobius, my man. How you doing, bro? Mobius is crushing it on that thank you RH coin. So even though you can look around and it's people panicking and blood on the streets, there is someone out there that's doing well with one coin. So congrats to Mobius on his TYRH moonbag there. So I'm just kind of looking here at the daily now, seeing what's kind of coming back faster. I mean, looking at the month here, golly, that's horrible. Well, HBAR down in the corner there. A little bit of karate news. Might as well just knock that out right now. So I was watching some of this this Kumite thing here. So Karate Combat, they have another show coming up in September where we will be able to bet on it, and you don't lose the losing fight. So it's a great way to earn free tokens. So I'll let you guys know. It was a fun event watching it live. Kids can watch it. So definitely going to be looking out for that. They have like the qualifiers going right now. So the guys that win the semifinals, they get to be in the main show next month. So kind of cool. Well, can't stop checking out the Pdai'd. Let's look at the chart here. I know what you guys are here for. If you didn't see earlier today, Chris from the Verse, his stream with Axis, definitely go check that out. I'm going to have to rewatch it for sure. They definitely brought up some really good points. And the more I sit back and think about it, I really don't think it's Richard behind this. I think it's somebody that I think it's a developer that was unhappy with where he was in the past. I was looking at this developer, trying to find it. It was like Jose Izquierdo or something. And he was bouncing around from Balancer to, I don't know which one it was, but some up there. Oh, here he is. I think this was him. Nope, never mind. That wasn't him. But he's bouncing around from Balancer to Aragon, it looked like. And who knows? I feel like it's a tight circle of developers in the back room. And what if someone, left one of these teams that was building a great project? He said that they were working on some frivolous project while Lido or Frax, one of them, was using this brand new code that they didn't know why they weren't using that, why they're working on this worthless stuff. So when someone gets mad and leaves, who knows? So I think it's just a developer behind the scenes that has access to funding. Somebody is using him, or this is just a money laundering / liquidity grab, where you can get. I was looking, reading the Tether story here with how deep the corruption goes, from FTX, how it was funded, with the kimchi premium allegedly, and just how that really is impossible. If you think about it, they're not welcoming to outsiders there. So how he was able to just make his way into Japan over there doesn't really add up. But regardless, Tether's history and how much money they printed and injected into these markets, a lot of it went right to market makers. So you see billions of dollars get printed and it's sent right to the exchanges. It's like, man, how stacked are these cards against us? So they're all colluding to destroy and eat retail's money as it came in. It's almost like sharks or fish that are following a herd of the bait fish. They come and they pick them off one at a time. Well, that school of bait fish only comes around every 4 years in a bull market. And then it's sharks lunging up and fish lunging up to eat them one at a time and to pick them off. I feel like that's what was going on here with Sam Bankman-Fried, with FTX, with Tether, the whole market, the leverage trading, the connections that go so deep. And Richard, what he's building is the opposite to these guys. And the one thing that kind of gives me hope, and that this isn't a scam, or this we're going to get rich and we're not going to die trying, right? We're going to get rich dying, which is crazy. That's where we came to. We are now all FOMO into stable coins. Just let that sink in. If when Pulsechain launched, I was like, guys, I promise you, it's going to get crazy once we start chasing stable coins in a couple months. I mean, I thought I'd seen it all, but man, it just doesn't cease to amaze. And I love it. I love the speculation. I love everything about it. I'm really curious to see, though, this rinse here, was all across the market. Pulsechain and PulseX, they both rinsed hard. So this dip here wasn't unique or specific to the Pdai'd ecosystem. So I'm just watching to see how fast they bounce back. And if we can hold, Axis is the TA guy, so he was super bullish on this chart. Even though he said he thinks Pulsechain is going to roll over again, it's not looking too good. The opposite kind of would die. So when there's nothing going on, what else are you really doing right now? If you're staked in HEX, you have your Pulsechain, you're DCAing, it's fun to do this. I feel more comfortable in this than the Pepe and the meme coins. At least somebody's funneling in liquidity into here, and it's all been good acting so far. The only thing is the Atropa. Can you mint endlessly over there? And I don't think that's a problem. So until we see something bad, I think that this could also be potentially an OG hexagon that's working with a developer or someone that has a project connected to Beetroot or Blockbend. Or Li-Fi. I think Chris said that was a potential tie. There's so many different things out here. I don't want to speculate it anymore. I feel like we've beat that to a pulp now. There's nothing that's came out new. Zach up here is definitely, he's been hosting these spaces on Twitter every day. Looks like this one was almost 7.5 hours earlier today. So they're in there all day speculating on what could be happening. And I really like this 9iron Capital account, this Pdai'd Maxi. It's where I got the thumbnail for the Richard Hart 5555 note. So I really like that. So shout out to these guys. At least they're making it fun right now. I really don't. I think it's hard for the guys, the HEX maxis, to understand this stuff because it was a different world back then. 4 years ago when HEX was just coming out, we just were understanding staking and locking up your coins and it was kind of unknown. And now 4 years later, just the fact that staking your coins for 15 years without having access to that liquidity, which is why Hedron, which is why the HSI, Maxi, all these other projects have came out, because it's just how this stuff goes. Richard built an amazing project, but to last 15 years in crypto, you must have built, or better have built, something amazing. And I think he has. I think that if Bitcoin was able to survive this long with the community behind HEX, I think it will survive. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm actually still stacking everything across the ecosystem. Just the last couple of days, I've added to some new PRC20s. You know, in talking with some of my buddies, I really think that people are sleeping on these PRC20s. And right now, this, as crazy as it sounds, it's opportunity. And it's so hard because when, you know, all right, for example, I'll look at which one was it? Anchor right here, for example. You know, there's $86 in liquidity. So I was buying some Anchor in here because what if this liquid staking or Lido or Frax shares, now that we're seeing connections with Lido and staked ETH with the DAI situation, you know, who knows where this can go? You know, Lido is by far the biggest ETH pool out there. So when there's connections to them, to Pulsechain, I just feel like if I was Circle, right? I was USDC and I had to pick 5 or 6 chains to go to in the future, where would I go? And looking around the ecosystem, I'm sure they have a button that says eliminate wash trading, eliminate bot volume, eliminate governance or votes or whatever these fake transactions are. And they can look around and see what ecosystems have that just authentic use, or what's the best word? The unwashed trading numbers, or the honest numbers that legitimate people are doing. And Pulsechain is definitely in the top 3. So I don't know how they could possibly ignore Pulsechain. So I think they're coming. I really do. I don't know if they're going to publicly announce it, because they see with this ecosystem how sensitive people are to centralized entities and the pushback that would come. So when I see what's going on through the privacy bridges and a way to funnel money or liquidity into the ecosystem while creating excitement around versus creating hatred towards your project, if everybody's bags were pumped up 10, 15, 20x, everyone was happy, and then you find out it was Circle behind this, or it was Jack Levin behind this, or it was me behind it, you'd be like, whatever, that sucks, but I got this huge bag now that I made Pulsechain off of, or whatever. You'll justify it in some way. But if they came out now and said, this is what we're doing, people wouldn't be speculating on it. I don't think that this experiment would be able to take place. Seeing whether or how people will react to these prices and stuff, what humans will do selling, or what whales will do. So I think there's a lot of testing going on. And I don't know if it's coincidence that around the space, especially on the XRP ledger, with what David Schwartz is building with his AMM bots, with no impermanent loss, with the liquidity pools that grow in yield as the pools grow in size, which hasn't been seen. The stuff that Flare is building with their FTSO. I mean, what does Pulsechain need now? An Oracle. So who's that going to be? Is it going to be Chainlink? Is there some background deal going on with NDAs signed across the board that we're not going to know? We're going to be able to speculate because it's all done done through these privacy bridges. I don't know. The on-chain metrics are probably going to be the best research or the best things to research, and that shit is out of my league. I'm going to leave that to like Dipcatcher and 9 Hour Capital, Chris from the Verse over there. These guys that are way smarter than me at this stuff. And then I'll just relay what I've seen and heard. But in the last really day or two, there's not much that has changed. This you're going to hear some FUD that, oh, yeah, it's dying, da 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 da. It's dumping, but the entire market is, I'm not panicking. She did buy a little bit of balancer, believe it, go figure. You're going to lose in crypto when you're speculating hard like this. You're not going to win across the board. I bought a little bit of Linqto. I bought a bunch of Frax shares. I think Frax is the one with the super low liquidity too. Yeah, Frax shares has super low liquidity. So I bought a bunch on there, and you can't buy more than like $7-8 before pushing the slippage up. So I'm buying, $50 of this coin, which is nothing, but I'm pumping the price up, and it could just be a complete waste of money. I don't know. But so you're not going to, and then on the other side, you get a coin that's pumping and it's new. When I chill it or tell people what I'm doing, they're like, dude, what are you doing? I'm buying the top right now. I can't buy this. I'm buying the top. I can't wait. Well, when you're buying coins this early and you're speculating this early, you're going to be buying the top a lot of the times, and it does suck. So it's a lose-lose. You're going to feel like you're buying the top when you FOMO in. And then when you're not FOMOing in and you're buying in right now, you're buying coins that nobody's trading and they feel dead. So it feels like you're just throwing money away. So there's nothing in crypto that's just going to be like, oh God, this feels great. I can't wait to just toss my money in. And it's probably going to skyrocket. That right now in the middle of this bear market, all three of those probably aren't an option and aren't going to happen. I mean, yeah, you get lucky, you get your flukes here and there, but like Zen Classic here, I'm stacking this. I was looking at it after this pump. I actually took a little bit of profits, and then I started rebuying down in here at 3,800, and it's down almost freaking 50% from there. So I got waxed on one of my buy-ins, and it wasn't much. It was like 50,000 DAI that I swapped into a Tropa, that swapped into Zen, because with the liquidity pools and Zen and Tropa, now this dump, especially if DAI and Tropa dump harder, are going to pull Zen down more. So I bought more at this dip because I really believe in Zen Classic right here. There's no more inflation coming to this coin. P-Zen is the one that I'm minting all the Zen NFTs on. It's a complete different coin. So there's two, P-Zen and then Zen. So, people get these confused a lot. So Zen, the original Zen here, the contract is 6FB8. And like I said, there's only 1.2K in liquidity. So it's so hard when you're doing this stuff. You're never going to feel good. I promise you. It's hard to do. And you got to just buy. The best thing that I would say you can do is if you're looking at your computer constantly and you're not a veteran in this stuff, you're going to freak out. Like a couple of my buddies, not going to name names, but they bought into DAI and they bought into a Tropa. And literally the second after they bought, they were on probably the 1 minute chart. And the second they printed a green candle, they were ready to sell. And the second it printed a red candle, they just bought the top and it was going to go down. Why'd they do that? So it's a complete mind fuck. It really is. This stuff is not easy. And the best thing you can do is buy and then just shut your computer down and say, all right, I'm going to come back in 2 hours. I'm going to come back in 6 hours. I'm going to come back in 24 hours. Whatever it is, just get away from it. I would have saved myself so many times if I didn't have to be on my computer doing stuff, talking with people, researching stuff. You just always let me check the chart. Let me check the chart. And a lot of times you do something stupid. I bought a little more Chainlink too. And it was at around 1.9 cents right after it pumped up hard. And right here's the pump up, and then it dipped down. So I bought right around in here, like 1.8 cents. And now look at that. Boom, rolled over, down 40%. But it is what it is. You can't predict these things. Nobody can. I knew the market wasn't looking great, but I didn't think Pulsechain was going to roll over this hard. But again, Bitcoin's doing it. The dollar is going up. So you got to look to macro conditions and see, all right, is this justified, or is this a problem that's unique to our ecosystem, that's unique to Pulsechain? So that's the stuff that I look at. And I look around across the board and everyone's hurting. XRP Army's freaking out because they lost all their money since the lawsuit. HBAR, it's doing phenomenal. They're making partnerships left and right. Nothing but great news across the board. And the price is still going down. I mean, what was it up? 6% or something? The only coin in the month? 9%. I mean, HBAR and XDC have had some of the most bullish news in the space in the last month.
nothing on the price. So this tells me that these markets are being suppressed by the higher ups. You know, my cousin's up there at the Negro Rock, the Dark Rock. So they want in, and why would they pay the premium, buy the tops of these candles, and help the little guy out? Why wouldn't they FUD the market, short the market, drive it down, hurt us, make us sell our bags to feed our families, help, you know, do what we got to do to pay our bills, and then come in and scoop up those coins at rock bottom? That's what they're doing right now, in my opinion. And it's coincidence why the ETH ETF got approved, not the Bitcoin ETF. That came straight out of left field, in my opinion. I really thought it would be the Bitcoin first. I didn't think the ETH would get approved. That just shows you there's way more going on behind the scenes than we'll ever know. And speaking of balancer, there's a lot going on in DeFi right now. A lot of problems. There's turf wars over stable coins, and this tether FUD is bad. I think the tether FUD is going to be a real story. Along the Mt. Gox FUD is going to come in a week or two because they're going to be selling those coins, the government coins. But Tether and Binance are the two things that are just lingering over the space. The two potential bombs that could go off. You know, the banking collapse that I don't think is tied to crypto. I don't think they can use crypto as the scapegoat anymore for why Silvergate Bank and Silicon Valley, they all went down. I don't see that. But Tether, that is the elephant in the room now, in my opinion, the biggest thing to look out for. The USDC circle is being promoted everywhere. They are really trying to take control through Circle with USDC. So I just look at, all right, Pulsechain is an extremely decentralized chain. In order for a centralized entity to take over and do what they're doing, they would have to do it kind of in secrecy, behind privacy. And I feel like Richard would maybe give a heads up, but with the lawsuit, with everything going on publicly, no way. But through, people, I feel like it would kind of trickle out, maybe hints at it, some kind of breadcrumbs, guys, whether stay away or, this is needed for the ecosystem. I feel like his silence, the longer it goes, is a sign of approval or not of approval in a sense. I just don't see him letting people get wrecked. His whole community, everyone's talking about this. People coming in from other communities. Like, this is what he wants, I think. And if he is behind this or whatever, or knows who's behind it and knows they're not bad actors, what a perfect way for him to, behind the scenes, without coming out in public at all, but to create that spark plug in the ecosystem, that catalyst that brings in new money, brings in new eyes. What a great way to do that. So I think of it that way, and that it could potentially be someone tied to Richard or close to him, or OG Hexagon, a Hex whale, someone that has incentive to do this, someone that's well connected, that knows a lot of people. Like I said, all the developers probably know each other. I'm sure for the right price, you could find someone that used to work for Richard. And I mean, you have a year-long NDA, and then you could probably start talking about what you were working on if you're that type of person. And just seeing the story of how FTX was funded, these billionaires, the amount of corruption in some of these companies over here, Perpetual Action Group with this Jan Ludovicus van der Velde, sometimes known as Jean-Louis, capri wearing, knee pad wearing Jean-Louis, and Giancarlo Devasani used to operate an electronics import business together. So the amount of money laundering that went through Tether 2 really scares me. So it just has to be a target. But then I watch interviews with Danelle Dixon, and the CEO there, Franklin Templeton, and they're talking openly about, oh yeah, we were just had a meeting with the Department of Justice or the FBI or whatever, and they all tell us that USDT and USDC are their best friends. So when I hear that, I'm like, okay, what am I missing here? How are they funding the hell out of it, but it's still this big? But then you have the smartest people on the higher ups saying that law enforcement loves it. So if law enforcement loves it, and money laundering and whatever is the excuse used for criminals, I don't know if we're just being duped here. That's what it kind of feels like. We're being played. And either way, if you think, oh yeah, it's free, I'm transacting on this, but at the end of the day, everything that we do is watched. You go to the bank and try to pull out $10,000, huge problem. You go on a shopping spree with your credit cards, fraud alerts are going off. You send $1,000 to all your buddies on PayPal, you're probably going to get a flag. So you really can't do anything legitimately right now without being censored or flagged or something. So it's not like we have this freedom to do whatever we want right now. That's complete bullshit, in my opinion. So I hope crypto, I really push for Pulsechain because I want to be able to use block bend. It is so cool what they're doing with their privacy bridge. What is it? Blockbend.com. I don't know. All right. But like this stuff, we really, really, really need to support decentralization, support the projects that like Beetroot, these guys that are about real DeFi. Because I'm starting to see out in these spaces that a lot of people don't know what real DeFi is. They talk all this stuff. Oh, dude, it's like, bro, that stuff they have admin keys. It's not real DeFi. So we are so much smarter in this ecosystem. We're on a whole nother level than most of the other people out there, most of these other communities. So just be kind to people. I see a lot of people just attacking these new people in here. It is kind of funny, but it's like, we got to be welcoming. Like people that got scammed or they realize their project isn't what they thought, that's a hard feeling to swallow. So when they come to a new community, you got to make them feel welcomed. You got to have open arms, and we're all going to grow together. Like inevitably, look at Richard's peers around him, Alex Mashinsky, all these exchanges that went down, SBF, Do Kwon. They all did it to themselves. Richard didn't have to do anything but keep doing what he had been doing forever. And everyone else around them is going to collapse. I feel like it's just like that with crypto. If you have good intentions, you have a good project, and you're not lying and you're not leveraged out the ass, all should be good. So I'm just excited, honestly, I am. I just trying to just put all these different things to my head. Who could be doing this? What's the end game? What is the end game? Is it just to bring liquidity onto the chain, to solidify it, to give it more credibility, just number wise, when you look down the volume transacting on the chain for when the bull market comes and people start speculating? I don't know. There's so many things that I'm thinking about right now. And I just feel like if it is a centralized entity, you have to do this in privacy. You have to have done your research and know what this community is about. So in order to do this and kind of get them to hype it up, not knowing who's doing it, this is being executed perfectly. Through all these liquidity pools being added, all these new pairs being added. It's just more volume, more buy and burn on PulseX, more incentive tokens being burned because my incentive tokens are getting crushed right now. And I bought more. Because of all this madness, I actually unstaked or took out my liquidity on PulseX I pulled it. I was doing the math, and I don't see the APY going back to mid 20% for a while. And until it got there, like I was in here for since launch. And after I got to go back and look and see when I did sell some INC tokens when they were at 50, 60, 40, 30 bucks. I know I did sell at least 15 of them. But then the last 50 or so that I held on to, I mean, man, it got brutal. But after everything was said and done, I lost 4 million Pulsechain. And then with the INC I have right now, it's worth like 2. So I'm down about 2 million, not including all the stuff I bought previously with those INC tokens. So I know I'm up a little bit, but all the money was made back then. So I figured it's going to be another almost 3 months to make another 60, 70 coins. I just bought another 50 and just sent them over to my hard wallet and just said, screw it. I'm just buying some INC tokens, putting them away because I think it's going to be a coin that surprises a lot of people. But just right now, liquidity providing is for whales. It really is. I really think there's a lot of, I feel way more comfortable just speculating with a couple $100 in these PRC 20s and like 10 of them and throwing a couple grand around than keeping it in that LP, to be honest. I feel like 1 or 2 of those coins goes up 75%. You outperform an entire year in that LP. So I already have the incentive tokens I would have earned for the next 3 months that I've just bought for, what was it, 75 bucks? Now they're $1.20. So that's my plan, guys. I'm beyond. You guys have any questions, let me know. I mean, I'm buying, I bought more Tropa, some down, a little bit of the legal, and some TSFI. You know, I caught this last night right here on I bought it at 36 cents, got out at like 48, but I'm wrecked on the last one. I bought this dip right here. Maybe around like 43 again. And now we're down 140, but whatever. This is a black swan event right now. This is just an unseen capitulation that came out of nowhere when everyone was bullish. Everyone was calling for Bitcoin to rebound. I'm just kidding. This was obviously nothing new. It sucks. I mean, the combined hex values now, I mean, goddamn, we're under a penny. I mean, this is brutal, guys. It really is. Combined value, 989. Woo! Pulsechain sacrifice down 88%. But you know what? I bought more. I'm buying more. The values are going down, but the amount of coins I have is going up. It's all that matters. The coins in the last bull run that did the best for me were the ones I did not expect to do the best. So I guarantee you, if I'm not gonna use that G word guarantee, but I just have a feeling that out of these 10 PRC 20s I just bought, a couple of them are going to outperform all 3 of these coins. Actually, all 5 of them, if you include the hexes. So being able to catch and hold those PRC 20s, whether if it's Aave, whether it's Maker, whether it's Compound, whether it's Lido, whether it's Shib, whether it's Pepe, whether it's Thank You RH, whether it's Time, I don't know. That's why I own all those and more. I mean, I got a big portfolio, a big amount of coins, but some of them are only $20 bags because you can't buy more than $5 at a time. Shit, there was $8 in liquidity in Anchor. So I'm an Anchor whale at 80 cents worth in US dollar value right now, but you never know. You know, money starts coming in, something happens, they build on Pulsechain, voila. Jackpot, bitch. Yeah. Yep. Jackpot. So, man, what the hell was his name? I'm already forgetting his name. God, through the mansion party in Vegas. Wow. That's how you know you're tired. Can't even remember his name. Mansion Party. I'm rich. No, jackpot, bitch. Yeah, when you said, wait, Kristen Axis said that. Yeah, bro. Kristen Axis' stream was unbelievable today. I got my notepad down right here, and I got everything written down. I just printed out a transcript of their screen, and I'm just reading it right here. Straight up plagiarizing. Nagabo. Yeah, Nagabo. That's right. Yeah, Nagabo. Yep. I hope Naga's doing well, man. I met him in person. I heard was having some health issues. I hope he's doing well. I think he's down in like down south there somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just straight cloud chasing off the verse and axis right here. Yo, it's crazy. I'm don't tell anyone, but I'm actually taking notes in Chinese. You guys can see this. I'm really getting inspired by these tokens. You know, the list of these Trouble Wallet tokens. So I took notes in Chinese today, trying to be like Rags and Chris with their notepads, trying to be, you know, diligent. And we'll see where this stuff goes, guys. It is exciting. I'm not gonna lie. Pdai'd looks like it's holding. It bounced off 6,900, which is so funny because I think the ultimate peg is gonna be $420.69 in Canadian dollars or in pesos. So, oh hell yeah, Naga. All right, cool. So he was back. I know he was on a little hiatus and he was taking a break till Pulsechain launch, but it's good to know that he's back. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So yeah, guys, check out Chris at the Verse over there. Awesome stream today with Axis. Definitely go watch that. Check it out. I'm gonna just sound like a complete retard if I try to even recap half the stuff they covered on that stream. So definitely go over there and watch that on the Versus channel. You know, I think we're gonna see how this capitulation plays out, see how ugly this gets across the ecosystem, and what bounces back first. That's always important. Whether it's PRC20s you're looking at, coins you're looking at, look at the market, see when everything's falling, what bounces back the fastest. That can often be indicators that those coins are going to be the outperformers of the entire market. You know, last market it was kind of Chainlink, SHIB, Doge, a couple others that were in that category. So you'll look to see which ones are doing that. You know, actually, we'll do it right now. FTX, go figure. All right, that's all I got for today. This shit, you can't even make this shit up. This space is just such a shit show still. We need regulation in Europe to come, which it will next year. And then I think the United States will see what they did, what everyone else has done across the world, incorporate what is going to work, what won't work over here. And then I think they'll have some kind of positive legislation because crypto is going to save the banks. It's going to save a lot of hedge funds, a lot of these traditional finance idiots that will never learn and they'll just get bailed out by sheer luck. So that's all I got for tonight, guys. Freaking exhausted. It's been such a long day. I think I Pdai'd 16 times. Showed up back in Hexaco, showed up in Kansas. I mean, it's been a wild ride. It's only going to get crazier, I think, as these conspiracies just keep coming in. More rabbit holes get dug. People go balls deep into them. And yeah, I'm excited. And yeah, guys, Westcott Crypto is a Pdai'd maxi, says Chris. Get some, yeah, bro. You too. You got some sleep too. I know your mind's probably running right now, racing, trying to tie some crazy shit together. But hey, it'll be here tomorrow in the morning. Everyone, appreciate you guys stopping in. And tomorrow night, again, another late stream. And then Thursday with the Verse, you know, he's just got all that alpha. So shit, I'm going to just jump on his stream and just ask him questions and let him give it to you guys live because he's definitely one of the top 5 best out there with that Pdai'd Atropa alpha. Peace. John May, much love to you, brother. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.